All right, darlings. Okay, so this is the opening transmission for a free introduction event for Satori Mystery School. The main guidance that I received is instead of simply attempting to do my best to describe what a mystery school experience is, I choose to give that experience to you, and not only in one webinar, but in the next 3 weeks. And I received this guidance so you could attune to the resonance, to the vibration, to the theme that will be channeled here. And it will give you enough space to connect with your inner guidance. And you may be guided to step into this journey with the first cohort of the students of the mystery school. Maybe you already got that guidance, right? And you just can't wait for this journey to start. Maybe for some of you, it will be a good introduction to my work. Maybe some of you just brand new to any of my webinars and transmissions. So then, what a great opportunity for us to get to know each other. It's actually my preference. Anybody who comes into this sphere of my energy, I always encourage people to attend a few of my free trainings so you really get to know the field that it's coming through, right? The energetics that coming through. So you can choose wisely which of the offerings can support what are you creating now, right? And for some of you, it could be an introduction to the path that you've been walking for several lifetimes in the past. So the mystery school teachings begin to call you at particular level of consciousness when you are being prepared for one of these three things. Do you want to know what they are? Thing number one, when you've been prepared for the next level of your spiritual awakening. Two, you've been prepared to see the next level of your spiritual vision, for your life, not just your career, not your business, for a true soul assignment. And for you to connect to that, most of us need to be prepared because it's much bigger than we can imagine or feel ready for. And that's how you know it's your true spiritual vision. So maybe you're being prepared to be revealed that true spiritual vision. Third, you're being prepared to activate new abilities, new spiritual abilities, psychic powers, clairvoyance. And those abilities need to be activated for you to carry out your spiritual vision, right? So these are just three things that could be at play right now. And for some of us, this next 3 weeks will be an invitation to look at new levels of integration and balance in our life. Whenever we study deep mystical teachings, there is always a danger, I'm going to call it a danger, to lose our balance because it's a delicious wisdom. Once you start tapping into cosmic realities and higher beings and higher worlds, you just want to be there. And the danger is to continue to create the distance between your physical reality and your mystical reality, and the gap becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it becomes unbalanced. So I will speak about that. And I'll share with you one of the ways that I am finding my balance, right, between opening up these big mystical branches every year, more and more and more and more. I am reminded to keep deepening my roots. And the way that I do it, if some of you relatively new to my work, have been with me on this path for a while, you will notice that I often go between teaching deep esoteric subjects to expand the soul, to assist others in remembering who they are, right? And then I teach these very practical subjects such as spiritual entrepreneurship and expression um, and uh, spiritual marketing, right? Very, they feel very different, but what I have found in my own journey, they actually give me this beautiful balance. Any of the business topics I teach nourish my roots, help me stay grounded. And then the mystical things that I teach elevate the branches, right? And it creates the beautiful balance. So I'm going to go deeper into that, why it's so important and how this balance is not easy to maintain. And I'm seeing, for me personally, this is how it works. So, if you are drawn to mystical teachings, please do know that it doesn't mean that you need to walk away from your career, from your profession, the way it is right now, and dedicate yourself only to the mystical teachings. I am finding the true integration is when you can take these wisdom teachings and move them into your ordinary life, right? Where you become, you be the modern mystic. You understand that mystery school is our life right now. That instead of seeking an ashram, a spiritual community, where you can disappear for a couple of months and to silence the noise and the troubles of the world, we are being invited to see our life, our ordinary life, as an ashram. Our ordinary life is a mystery school. Our ordinary life gives us all the ingredients for awakening to our real spiritual vision. Do you find this to be true in your life? Have you found this parallel? Have you found this discovery that when you begin to lose your balance and lean into one or another, something is off? Right? And we get to come back and to honor not only our expansion, but our roots, right? So let's start with, oh my goodness, we have so much to cover. Let's start with the, the three levels of spiritual awakening that a mystery school lineage will invite you to dive into. And it's really, really beautiful because once, you know, I'm a big um, believer in expanding a big picture. When we are connected to a bigger picture, we have not only more strength to meet our everyday life, we also know how to tap into joy and peace. Joy and peace are the true soul signature of an integrated spiritual person. Joy and peace is our original state. Everything else is nonsense. Everything else is energetic clutter. Everything else is fear and the noise of the collective field that we can learn how to discern and clear and to transform. Our original state is joy and peace. And the more we remember that, the more we choose that, the more we align to that, that our original state is joy and peace. When we feel that joy, that celebration in seeing your life as a profound gift, the sacredness of your life, then you are in a aligned vibration to apply this mystical wisdom and to shape your reality with your consciousness and to manifest with your thought and to connect to your spiritual vision. When you are not enjoying peace, you are simply not in the resonance with the higher worlds, right? You're on a different radio station. So it's okay when you find yourself in a survival energy or fear or mental chatter. Just know you are on the station that you can change that station. So the first training of a mystery school lineage is to find that orientation point that my original state is joy and peace. And that starts with acceptance and appreciation of our life exactly as it is. If that foundation is missing, we're just having, a lovely philosophical discussion that is good for the intellect, but doesn't create any profound transformative shifts in our reality. So we start with that. I choose to remember that joy and peace is my original state. And I'm not going to take my focus of that. I'm going to continue to come back to that because when I have this joy and peace and the well being, I am in the vibration that is required for me to be able to access this larger energetic reality. Right? So, this is the first one that is really powerful to just move this in. Really powerful for us to address. And we can talk about ways to get there more consistently. But this is the very beginning. So, the mystery school lineage is very ancient path that is rooted in the love of wisdom. And it's called by many different names, right? In Greek, there's this beautiful word that I'm in love with. It's called theosophy, and it stands for divine wisdom. And the mystery school, it's a lineage that does not relate to any religion. It doesn't belong to any religion. It's not a religion, right? It is a path of direct experience. It's a path of learning about these higher worlds and higher wisdom, and then experiencing it through application and through practice to access your own inner knowing. It's called gnosis, right? And the more you experience this direct contact with your inner world as well as higher levels of reality, you go through transformation that lasts. Every time you experience your original wisdom in a way, it becomes a part of you and it empowers you whenever you go through challenging times or times of uncertainty or the world uncertainty. You're leaning into the depth of your inner world. So I would say mystery school is the path that helps you develop a rich inner world. But not only that, it also helps you develop your spiritual organs. They're called psychic organs. And those organs help you become a seer. So you go from spiritual seeker to an awakened seer, a person who can see beyond just the physical reality, a person who can see beyond this dimension. So you can grow in soul wisdom and you can see the direction that your soul is taking you. So, inner development, rich inner development, development of psychic organs, so you can become a seer, opening your ancient eyes. And the third aspect of this path is truly a refining your personality, refining your character to develop these unique qualities, soul qualities, that your soul predetermined before you took on physical body. So maybe your soul's vision for this lifetime is to develop a quality of patience, right? So you're going to experience a very unique soul script that teaches you the profound, rare quality of patience. And that is your entire life is circling around that theme. Or maybe your soul quality is determination, an ability to see something through against all odds. So this refinement of particular qualities, and you will be going through many different tests and initiations in your life. So you could refine these very unique jewels, like the facets of the diamond that is your soul. And these qualities you will take to your next incarnation. They will assist you in developing your soul's curriculum in a way, a blueprint. But this path is a path of unlocking particular set of qualities, right? What do you want to say for that? For example, one of the qualities that I developed this lifetime is quality of trust. And it can feel like a universal lesson for all of us, living in trust, in trusting yourself, trusting life, trusting others, trusting the feminine, trusting the masculine, trusting the moment, right? But that's the quality that is being constantly refined and purified and awakened in my soul throughout my lifetime. And I kept noticing, like, that's my aim. By the end of this incarnation, I'm going to have a master degree in trust, right? So, what are the qualities that you are transforming and discovering? Maybe it's your relationship with becoming an abundant spirit, right? It only looks like you are on the search of cracking new relationship with money and your ability to generate enough. But what you actually after, from mystery school perspective, you are so determined to develop an abundant spirit that does not operate in the lack paradigm at all. And that is what your soul is after. So, in the mystery school tradition, we lift up the conversation from why you're here in this very, very brief time. Before I was guided to mystery school teachings, I did not want to be on the planet because I did not have the answers to the big questions since I was asking since I was a little child. Like, what is the purpose of this life? What is the meaning of this existence? And I kept looking to teachers and books and philosophies and religion and a ton of psychedelics. Hello, finally, some kind of a revelation over there. But still, it felt like I was just getting parts of the puzzle. I didn't see the full picture. So there were chapters in my life where I did not want to be on the planet. And if you are my peer, if you are somebody who is working with others and you are in service to others, you want to be prepared because people collectively will be asking this question: what is the purpose of this existence? What is the purpose of existence? When we don't have an answer to this question, we unconsciously choose not to be here. And that means where we either create circumstances in our life that is filled with accidents, or we sabotage things, we basically don't want to be here. We unconsciously self destruct because the soul will never find peace until it finds answer to a major existential question. What is the purpose of existence? Peace is impossible without an answer to this question. So, what mystery school teachings do, they give you direction and they say, you know what, in that direction, you can find an answer. It's still up to you to do the walking. It's still up to you to learn to see in the new way. I was reading as a beautiful metaphor yesterday how when we're being introduced to mystery school level teachings, and we say, how come I did not know this before? How come I do not have access to this fountain of deep illuminating wisdom? Well, it's almost like a person who doesn't know how to read or write, right? All the books in the world exist, but if you don't know how to read or write, you can't access what is written. You can't read what is written. So to access these mystery school level teachings, we get to develop the right attitude, the right eyes, and the right ears. So before we go into the meat of today's conversation, it's so important to revisit what are the attitudes that we get to have, because if we don't have this attitude, mystery teachings will keep veiled for us. Have you ever picked up a book that somebody told you is a very famous book, very famous mystical book, and you picked it up and you're reading it, and it just sounds like a bunch of words that totally don't make sense? I can tell you so many experiences like this that I've had, where I would have a book, let's say it's Emerald Tablets by Thoth, the original builder of Egyptian pyramid, the god of wisdom, who brought us all the sciences and writing and astrology. And I had that channel transmission, Emerald Tablets, for about a year. And when I first got it, I was like, this is amazing, but it's wow. It's just a bunch of words, a bunch of beautiful words, but doesn't really shows itself to me. And I had that book on my shelf until one evening in my evening practice, I heard a voice, like a telepathic voice, read Emerald Tablets. And I saw it on my bookshelf and I reached for it and I opened the book and the book unveiled itself to me. And the words jumped from the page and start speaking to me and activating these codes of consciousness. And because my mind was ripe for it, and maybe before I wasn't ready for it. So there's a few things that we get to cultivate to be ready, to be ready to receive the power of these teachings so they can transform our lives. Yeah. Um, how is everyone receiving this? You ready to learn the first one, darlings? This was so powerful for me to find the words for this. It's almost like a prerequisite. Imagine if you enter the mystery school and there is a prerequisite. They say you need to sign on this dot. You need to sign on this dot to make sure that you are ready. So the first attitude is the attitude of devotion. So if you already have that attitude, is a huge sign that you are an initiate of light, or you have been an initiate of light, or you're ready to remember yourself as an initiate of mysteries, or you're being prepared for this path. Devotion is that energy that goes deeper than commitment. Devotion is the energy that you feel inside of you, where you know you need to connect to your soul. You need to nourish your soul with a conversation with the universe, with a chant, with prayer, with forgiveness work, with journaling, with admiring the nature. You have the devotion, right? And it's such a flame. It can start like a tiny little flame, but you know the importance of that flame, and you make it important to cultivate that flame. So the very first quality for a sincere student of a mysteries is devotion. If we don't have this quality, we're not ready for this path. You know, we may be still in a stage of consciousness called spiritual tourism, and that's okay. We all go through those stages, right? We're just collecting data. But the data becomes a clutter. When you find that flame, that devotional flame, how it guides you. It guides you. And you know how important it is to keep it alive. So a spiritual practice is how you keep the flame alive. There's devotion, right? Devotion. And I can tell you, through 10 years of being a mentor for others, being a coach, being a mentor or a teacher, I can tell you from one message somebody writes to me when they want to learn more about my work or how I can support them. One message, I can read vibration, language, their attitude. Do they come from the place of devotion, or do they come from the place, here I am, transform me? Isn't that your job? Isn't that your superpower? Transform me. What can you do to transform me? Right? That kind of attitude. We got to be humble enough to watch that in ourselves. How do we approach the mysteries? As an empty cup? Or is just another library of information that can magically solve all our problems? The first pillar, devotion and humility. I feel humility wraps devotion, right? Devotion and humility are together. Like a little dark here. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit lighter. I want more light. I want more light. I want more light. So, my dear ones, devotion is a fragrance that begins to attract not only good fortune into your life, but also the assistance of the higher beings. Today, I'll share with you how to connect to the higher beings, whether they are these masters, ascended masters, where they are angels and star guides and archangels, whether they are nature spirits. These are all beings from the spirit world. And if we don't have devotion and humility, we're not going to access that connection. So that's the first one. How devoted are we? And what are we devoted to? Right? The first pillar, devotion. The second pillar, that is requirement for the path of the mystery, is cultivation of inner tranquility. So the inner tranquility, meaning that you make it your personal practice to unlock your ability to be peace in motion, to be calm under pressure. This is the training. It's not about avoiding anything that can trigger or put you under the pressure. It's embracing all the opportunities that life gives you to test your tranquility now. So, in this mystery school path, we focus on development of that inner tranquility, that you can look at your life and every single player in your life movie from that inner calm and inner peace. Knowing that when you lose your tranquility, when you lose your calm, you know how to come back to it. And this is the process. You lose it, you come back to it. You lose it, you come back to it. And you develop that muscle called tranquility muscle or equanimity muscle. And this is what makes you so attractive to others. And why is it important? Well, when you start working in these energetic spaces, you begin to learn that it takes a lot more effort to only bring things to you by your physical effort. There is other way to navigate your realities through energetic attraction, through activating your magnetism. I have found what makes people really magnetic, people you want to be around with, you want to learn from them, you want to spend time with them, is their energy. And it's the energy of equanimity and tranquility. Whenever you're around somebody who is restless, right, they're fidgeting, it makes you uncomfortable. It's not very comfortable to be around a person who is restless. And I can tell you this because I go to the gym, like a fitness center, and there is a sauna, like a public sauna that anybody can use. And on the rare times, nobody's there. And I come to the sauna and fill it with spiritual golden energy and sit and manifest and use the power of my mind to activate certain qualities that I want, right? But most of the time I go to that sauna and there are people there. And this is how you can tell the level of consciousness and the level of awareness in others. There will be people who are sitting and they're fidgeting, right? Like this. Have you ever met those? And it's not that they are ill, it's that they have so much tension in the body that they do not know how to feel stillness. Or you see people, not showing that tranquility, and it's apparent to you the more sensitive you become, right? So when you meet somebody who embodies this quality, it's very soothing and nourishing to be around them. Their presence calms you down. In their energy, things become clear on their own. They're not even doing anything, simply being themselves. So, when we talk about activating the quality of devotion as an attitude, how we approach the mysteries, like empty cup, humble, receptive, asking ourselves, you know what, where is my beginner's mind? The second quality is you begin to value tranquility, value equanimity as a magnetic quality that you can develop in yourself. I find it's so amazing. It's so incredible. It's a true sign of somebody who lives a spiritually integrated life, right? I want to be around those people. I want to spend time with them. I want to spend lunch, dinner, cacao. So, again, compassion towards yourself and forgiveness towards yourself, where you go through restless waves of emotions and your tranquility is gone. It means that you notice it faster. You say, how can I come back to my tranquility? Where is it? Where did I lose it? What did I learn from this latest version? Right? So, the third prerequisite for initiates of mystery school. These three are the main pillars. The third is the balance between inner development and taking care of your physical life. Okay, I'm going to take a pause on this one because it's going to be a big one. How are you doing, everyone? Oh, it's so good to be with you. There is nothing brings me more joy, my dear ones, than to share this time together. It is so powerful, right? So let's go. Do you see why I recommended to you to bring a journal and a pen? So the third one, the balance between your inner development and taking care of your physical life. So, my darlings, I sent an email this morning and I've made a couple of social media posts about 13 visionaries who were secret students of magic and ancient wisdom. Did you know that the majority of them did not have the balance between their inner development and their physical life? We have an opportunity to do something different in our generation. We can say that those visionaries didn't have access to the proper nutrition and the right physical way to exercise their body, and they didn't have the understanding of what we do now. But for example, one of the visionaries that I mentioned, Manly Paul, he was an absolute genius. By the age of 27, he published a mystical encyclopedia. Imagine, this is before internet. This is before ChatGPT. This is when you have just these rare books and manuscripts spread out all over the country that you need to go from a library to the library, gathering these precious sources to put together a comprehensive mystical encyclopedia. Manly Paul was a young man who was really gifted in his ability to synthesize massive mystical knowledge. By the age of 27, he did his body of work, his legacy body of work. But when I did research about his personal life, I have learned that he was obese, that he didn't take care of his body. His last years of his life was spent hospital after hospital, doctor after doctor. He didn't really cultivate a balanced personal life. He had a very uh, famous public life, but his private life was a mess. And I'm sharing this with you, Manly Paul, exactly. I'm sharing this with you because we can learn from this. It's not that we look down, oh my gosh, he was a mess in his private life. It's not like that. It's like, whoa, what is this can teach us? And what can teach us is that when we value our inner development as well as our physical life, meaning if I keep developing my spiritual body, but my physical body is being ignored, I don't have the strong vehicle to continue to access higher dimensions. If I focus on my mystical development, but I completely pushed away my physical life, the way that I make money for myself or resources, the way that I file taxes, or maybe I just completely ignore that part of my life, saying it's beneath me. What's the story, right? What's the story that creates, I don't want to deal with this 3D blah. I just want to be in my 5D magical land. We got to be able to be honest and objective with ourselves. Trust me, I have lost that balance many times. I remember when I first, in the very beginning, I'll give you an example of my entrepreneurial ambition when I first started my business, and I was just so eager to figure it out. I became so unbalanced. I start smoking. Can you imagine me smoking? Yeah. Those electric cigarettes. Eating not good. Workout missed. Another workout missed. Another workout missed. I'm 20 pounds heavier. I feel not like myself. Wow. What happened? My body became a sacrifice for this great ambition. Or we can do the same mistake with our spiritual ambition, with our spiritual zest for enlightenment. That we say, I don't need to deal with my physical life. I don't need to deal with any of this. Great mistake. Then we are not have the structure to continue to expand. So, what mystery school teachers would remind us again and again and again, don't lose your balance between your inner development and taking care of your physical life. And I find it's a really grounding perspective. If we can take that, how to stay grounded. And I want to share with you, darlings, for a long time, I was doing this dance between, do I only teach the mystical and that's my life's work and that's what I want to, that's what I want people to know me for, or do I only do business? And I kept feeling divided again and again and again. And what I'm having this huge aha moment that it's actually like a braiding. The business gives me this earth energy, and the mystical gives me this cosmic alchemy, but they both coming together, coming together, coming together, coming together. So take a good look into your own life without self judgment, but with self compassion, and to say, where have I lost my balance? Maybe for you, it's relationship. Maybe you are a happy solo mystic. You say, I don't care about the relationship. They just drive me mad, right? I'm a happy solo mystic. That was me for many years until I realized I am skipping a major part of my development. And I just got to come back, take another body, do this whole show again to complete the lesson. You can't skip this class. Can't skip this class. So looking have where do I have the misbalance? How do I come back to it? So you see, mystery school teachings, it's not just the lovely information about archangels, ascended masters, how to activate our Merkaba, how to get blissed out in astral planes. We'll get there. But if we don't have these foundations, we are not approaching this path from the right attitude. Because this path provides the most accelerated inner development, the most accelerated awakening of our power, of our true power. And with every new level of power comes a new level of responsibility. So before we access that new level of expansion and power and impact and our ability to create with our thought, imagine, just think of something and manifest it. This is our true ability. We get to make sure we have those foundations. Let's do some drawing together. Do some drawing. I'm so glad I have the. You are so welcome, Roxy. Yeah, I'm discovering everything I'm sharing with you, my friends, straight from the laboratory called my life. Right? So I am in the trenches. These trenches, it's like, whoa, I lost my balance over there. And playfully, playfully come back, playfully come back. Okay. So we still have a lot to cover, right? A, a lot to cover, darlings. Let's do this. I would like to introduce to you the three levels of spiritual illumination, spiritual awakening. The jewel, let's just say the ultimate graduation gift of the mystery school path is complete illumination. You see reality as the gods see reality. The veil dissolves and you see the reality as your immortal self sees it. Just imagine how you would live if you experience reality as your true immortal self. That's the aim of where a mystery teachings can take you. But it has this levels, right? Levels. Let's go. Let's go. I love drawing things. Or maybe it's a circle. I feel it's a circle. Okay, let's create a circle. It's like this. Let's do a circle. So the first phase, and this phase, three levels of spiritual awakening. The first stage, my dear friends, is preparation. What we think as our spiritual awakening, when we tell each other our stories of our spiritual awakening, was excitement, right? We're like, how was your spiritual awakening? You're like, well, it was so dramatic. Or it was so gentle. It took me by surprise. From a mystery school tradition, this is a preparation to your awakening. It's opening of the door to a path that takes you to enlightenment. So here's enlightenment. And you can't put it on your calendar, on your schedule. You can't trigger it. You can't orchestrate the perfect conditions for it. You simply get to allow it. And this big chapter of preparation is cultivating devotion, activating tranquility, developing a practice, transforming the body, transforming your environment. You're creating the conditions for this to take place. And enlightenment, a couple of ways that I like to describe enlightenment. Enlightenment is when your life begins to get filled with light. And it becomes more and more and more filled with light. And what is light? Light is information. Light is energy. And the more you illuminate your shadows, the more you become aware. Oh, look at my greed. Oh, look at my ego. Look at my judgment. Oh, honey, let's be with this. Let's transform this. The more you do the shadow work, the more light comes into your life because nothing is hidden, nothing is hiding in the basement of your consciousness. Enlightenment is when your life begins to get filled with light. And you also become lighter, right? You come back to that original joy when you felt as a kid and everything was felt like wonder and possibility. Everything was possible. Remember, 5, 7, 8 years old, who you wanted to be, a cosmonaut, a painter, a librarian. That was my dream, to be a librarian. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. I'm kind of like living that dream by cultivating a mystical library here. So, enlightenment is filling your life with light. So, this is a huge process, right? You are learning to work with energy. You are learning to become aware of your thoughts. You are learning to work with your mind, right? Self transformation, enlightenment. But this is not it. This is not all of it, because not everybody chooses to fully awaken in this lifetime. Many people will experience this and they say, this is where I want to be. This is plenty for me. I just want to be here, and that's okay. This is why I don't believe in waking people up. I don't think any of us has that power. We can awaken and be a radiant example through our vibration of what it feels like to experience peace and joy every single day of your life as a quality of your life, as a state of your being. And people come to you and they say, what do you do that you live like this? And that's how you know they've been prepared, right? So there is more. There's preparation, there is enlightenment, and there is a one more stage, initiation. Oh, like this. So last year, no, not last year, 2 years ago, maybe somebody remembers, I was introducing Atlantean teachings. I was connecting to my Atlantean guides who were very insistent on their teachings to be brought to the world. So I was channeling for them. And the word that they kept giving me is initiation, initiation, initiation. And I kept talking to them. I was like, okay, 9 dimensional, 6 dimensional beings you are. Here in the third dimension, the word initiation is a little intimidating. Just let you know over there, Galactic Council, a little intimidating of a word. Initiation, can you give me something easier to work with? So, initiation is a process of exponential spiritual development, is when you decide, instead of taking a hike, you decide to enjoy rock climbing, right? You decide that climbing mountains by hanging on the cliffs is what actually turns you on this lifetime. So you're going to take a more steep approach to your development. You are going to experience scenarios that can rattle a lot of people. But you're like, oh, I was born for this. I chose this because in one initiatory experience, you can refine a quality of your soul that you want to develop. And instead of taking 5 years, you take 3 months. And for your soul, it's way more important to develop the quality than to have to drag it out, right? So when you are on the path of initiation, the great work, the great alchemical process, you experience in reality in a different way. You live as a magician, as an alchemist, as an oracle, as a channel. You work in a different way with reality. You also experience things and events that other people would just say, whoa, you just went through that? And it's always good to share a good story after you went through an experience of that nature. You have an amazing story of, how powerful your faith can be and how universe can be trusted every single time. But you have a different kind of curriculum that you are moving through your life, right? So we can read and study about great initiates of light because when you are on the path of initiation, what you are doing, you are developing a master level consciousness, ascended master level consciousness. Initiation, the path of initiation calls you when it's your last few cycles on the planet and you're going into a different experience. The human incarnations is a temporary experience. Some mystery teachings say 3,000 lifetimes is what the length of our soul development. So imagine after several thousand, you're like, I've seen it all, been everything, the fish, the rock, the animal, the bird, the king, the slave, the farmer, the city architect. I have been it all. So what is next for me? Right? I love this conversation. So here, this is the spiral, the great spiral of life. So in the mystery school teachings, we spend the majority of our life here, the majority of our training here. We put a very strong foundation on this phase where we work with energy. We work with developing our psychic organs, such as clairvoyance, so we could see the true vision for our life. It's one thing when somebody tells you the vision for your life, where you go to a psychic. It's eventually we go beyond consulting other psychics. Right now, I go to one elder teacher who uses tarot for his intuitive predictions. But it's been a while since I actually saw a psychic guidance from another channel. It's very important for me in the last few years to develop my own psychic organs because even the most excellent psychic, the most talented, the most gifted, what they're doing, they're tapping into a set of possibilities that you are currently most energetically attuned to. Nobody can see your future because your future is created by what you choose to do now. You are the creator of your future, but what you choose to do now. So eventually we go beyond relying on other people's psychic guidance and say, wait a second, I am the ultimate psychic of my life. I get to develop my organs of perception, right? And I get to develop my own eyes, my own spiritual eyes that can see the vision for my life that my higher self has for me. And that's exciting because then you are spiritually sovereign. You know how many choices that I have made in my life by relying on psychic guidance? The choices that I don't think were necessary. When I was looking for love, this is a good example. In 2009, I was a baby bird, 2009, fresh opening to the preparation of that path. I was so searching for my soulmate. I was like, where is my soulmate? And I was searching for love and for companionship. And I remember going to psychic after psychic after psychic, and they do their shuffling of the cards. I see it for you. In the next 2 months, you're going to meet somebody. You're going to meet somebody. I see a tall man, dark hair, energy like an oak tree. You're going to meet that person. Yeah, you got to go to Europe. Yes. Yes. You feel Rome. Yes, go to Rome. You're going to meet him there. So I book the plane and I go spend a month in Rome. Yes, I'm a lover of art. Yes, I'm a lover of ancient cities and I have an amazing time, but so much of my attention is lost because I look for that soulmate that psychic told me I'm going to meet in Rome. And my attention is split. And so many memories that I could have created and enjoyed are because I am in that chasing of the future that somebody told me can happen. So be careful about relying on other people's psychic guidance, no matter how much you respect their expertise and the purity of their channel. We get to outgrow that reliance and to develop our own clairvoyance. And this is why Mystery School teaching is such a training of spiritual sovereignty, right? And there's a whole training on developing your channeling abilities. It's lovely that we have so many channelers, and so many of them are pure divine transmitters. And you are a channel for your own life. You are a channel for the wisdom that wants to stream through you. Eventually, it's time to grow our strong spiritual feet. So we begin to channel our own wisdom. I deeply believe it's a part of our maturity to say, okay, I'm receiving so much guidance from others, right? And it's helpful, it's amazing, it's lovely. And I'm going to spend time, as much time as I'm learning from others, I'm going to spend the time being with myself and practicing these exercises, psychic development training, that I'm opening my own channel. To me, that's the power of true spiritual training. Do you resonate? Do you find this to be true in your own life? Oh, the birds are singing. The birds are singing. The spring is on the way. Today, I was in the morning, I was listening to the birds, and they are majestic, darlings. The spring is such a gorgeous time. The birds are channeling, right? So I find it's a huge responsibility for me as somebody who represents this lineage, right? And I'm a representative, meaning, a part of this lineage. I represent this lineage. I have so many. I love this lineage. I love being with my master guides and teachers. But I find it's very powerful to say it's time to develop my own spiritual feet, my own spiritual eyes. So that's what we do in Mystery School, my dear ones. We actually get the training boots that's called energetic and psychic exercises, and we develop our psychic organs. Think about a human being is a three-part being, right? As you know, where do we have spot? Okay, let's say here's you, right? So this is your body, and this is your body. This is your mental body, mind, and this is your soul. So we spend most of our life developing our physical body. And during the midlife, or if you go through some kind of unexpected life event that triggers the search for higher truth, you begin to develop your inner thinker. You begin to ask deeper questions. You develop your mind and your intellect, and then you grow your soul. But imagine for a lot of people, this is a very tiny level of development, the same as the mind. So the organs, the spiritual organs are, they're just dormant. They're not activated. They don't activate automatically. So what we do in this path, we open them through practice, through intention, through patience, because not all of our spiritual organs develop and open in 6 months or even a year. For most of our spiritual organs, it's a gradual process, unless you take a lot of psychedelics. I I just had to put that in there because it does help. Psychedelic paths does help. You don't have to take psychedelics. You can do a lot of breath work and yoga and open up the gateways of the body. The breath work is the ultimate psychedelic if you do it right. You can bring so much prana and energy into your body that it begins to activate that memory and bring you into the contact with the higher worlds. This is a good time to talk about the higher worlds because the higher worlds are not higher somewhere. I used to think that the higher dimensions are literally higher somewhere, right? So it actually, it's actually, they are everywhere enfolded. So think about how this is the body, right? The physical. And then we have the etheric body, which is what you access when you take acupuncture session. Your acupuncturist accesses your etheric body to get the energy flowing. Then after that, you have your mental body, right? Your mind. We all live in our minds, literally. When you meet another person, it's your mind meets their mind. And this is what you say, just something off about that person. It's their mental field meets your mental field, and your belief systems are not aligned. So you get that psychic information so fast, right away. And you meet another person, maybe your fellow mystic, and you're like, ooh, we're going to have amazing conversation together for 3 hours, right? So really, really cool. So the higher dimensions, the way that I think of them, they are sort of like those Russian nesting dolls, right? They are unfolded, unfolded, unfolded. And this is why it's so important for us to work with our energy and attitude. Because where our energy is aligned and balanced, tranquility, peace, joy, and our attitude is of devotion and humility, we naturally connect to these higher dimensions, to these deeper dimensions. I think that's the right word, deeper dimensions. So imagine there is a dimension of ultimate bliss called the Buddhic plane, where all the Buddhas exist. It's a dimension of where the only feeling that you can experience is rapture, joy, ecstasy. So when you read about these Himalayan masters, these great yogis who go in a spontaneous bliss state, what they're doing is they're connecting to the Buddhic plane of reality. They're not going anywhere. They're sitting in a simple meditation pose, or maybe drinking tea, but they suddenly go into this state of ultimate rapture and bliss, is because their vibration is connected to that plane of reality. So when I begin to look at the higher worlds, not as something higher, unreachable, but it's something deeper, that the more I refine my vibration, the more I stabilize my vibration, the more natural my contact is. So you begin to receive inspiration. All brilliant inspirations and ideas and the creative inspirations, uplifting thoughts, visions for a better world, constantly being streamed by the masters from Shambhala, Agartha, or other mystical planes of living. Imagine that, let's say, you become an ascended master. Let's just go even deeper in the mystical Candyland together. Let's say you decide to go through this whole experience and choose the path of initiation because ultimately your soul is ripe to be a master, right? To be a teacher, to be an luminous bodhisattva, right? So, what you would do when you are at that plane of consciousness, you simply share your vibration, and your field is so huge, it ripples everywhere. That's what masters do. And the poets and the musicians and the writers, they catch those inspirations and they call them a muse has come. So every single brilliant, inspiring thought that you've ever had comes to you from a deeper mystical dimension. And you can trust that and you can act on that. This simple realization gave me strength to act on inspiration that I receive. So, for example, to bring a mystery school, I tried to push it away many times. I tried to argue with my guides, these amazing masters, and to tell them just give this vision to somebody else. Somebody else is better, more prepared, has give it. Please give it to somebody else. And the vision doesn't leave. Until last year, when I was in Peru leading my spiritual retreat, I connected to these powerful masters through the plant medicine and through meditation. And I asked them what's important to bring. And they said, in a very philosophical way, when they answer your question with another question, they said, if you knew this is your last incarnation, what would you create and why? I was like, darn you, you know how to get me. You know how to speak to my mind. Because I knew if I keep postponing this vision, I am choosing a life of regret. Because this life can end on any day. And if I'm not fulfilling the spiritual vision that keeps coming to me, I'm missing out on a major assignment and also a major adventure. So maybe my story can be validating for your experience. There is something that only you can bring. Could be a mystery school, could be a yoga school, could be an art thing. But there is something that only you can bring, and it's a part of your spiritual vision. And it may be clear or it may be fuzzy or it may be somewhere in between. But you know it keeps coming to you, and you feel a bit insecure, unprepared, under resourced. Maybe it's not the right time. Why am I being called to do it now? This is all the signs of your true spiritual vision. This is all the signs. you know? It's so fascinating. I wanted to tell my experience so more people can be validated in theirs. Your spiritual vision will not leave. It will continue to appear and to tap you on the shoulder and to say, well, maybe this year? How about this year? How about this month? I know you were doubting yourself last 2 months, and gosh, that lack of vision was really scary for you. And confusion was totally overpowering you. You were stressed and disconnected from your heart. But how about today? Today you feel energetically stronger. Let's do this again. This is your higher self speaking. This is your higher self, your constant cheerleader. Hey, I know last week you felt like a total mess, but this week you're stronger. Let's go. Let's find our devotion. Let's find our tranquility. Let's find our strong spiritual feet. Let's do this. All stars are aligned. We just started Pisces season. Pisces seasons, everybody's receptive to spirituality. Let's do this. This is what's happening in my inner world. It's like that. It's like a wave on the ocean. Right, my darlings? It is so happening. So how do we let's summarize because I'll give you a lot. I give you a lot. I want to normalize these waves in your inner world. Your spiritual vision unfolds when you open your spiritual eyes. Your spiritual eyes open through a dedicated psychic energetic exercises or taking a lot of psychedelics or a little bit of both, right? Okay, I hope you're laughing with me. Uh, of course, taking psychedelics in a supervised environment, preferably in indigenous ceremony with the shaman. Oh my goodness. I gotta bring some humor to this because we gotta remember, right, darlings? I talk about my psychedelic path very publicly because I been on this path for 17 years, always with utmost respect, always with devotion, and a couple of times, or 3 or 4 times, where I did not show devotion to the plants, I've received some slaps, right? I've received some psychic slaps and psychic teachings that was so humbling that I literally crawled, energetically crawled on my knees next time, saying, please forgive my arrogance. I approach this path with utmost devotion. So even if I'm playful about it, please do not take it as something that I speak lightly, right? But there is some power in opening up our psychic organs, whether through breath work, through meditation, through working with the plant medicine. It all opens up those pathways. So ultimately, you are the being who can see your own spiritual vision. You see it, you know it, it becomes a beacon of your life. And when you have vision, you have strength to carry it out. And even those days where you feel you don't have strength, the vision is the beacon that keeps pointing you. You know what? This is why this incarnation is so important. A few days ago, I I start experiencing shaking, like a physical shaking, and I know that's to me it's a sign of my something in my body, like an ancient memory is being stirred up. So I said, "Oh, what is going on in our energy field? Oh, there is some. Oh, okay. Oh, I got it. Okay, okay. I'm tapping into the old memory, how it was frightening. It was life threatening to teach mysteries. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just a little bit of more of that old pain and old trauma left in my subconscious mind. So I sat down and I did this process where I clear subconscious mind trauma energetically. And I moved to the point of integration and celebration. And after that, after I did this work, cleared my subconscious mind, I start dancing and celebrating how it has never been more safe to teach the mysteries. It has never been more um, supportive from an environment. The people have never been more receptive to the mystery teachings. Not only receptive, there has never been more hunger for these teachings. And I kept reminding myself of this. This is a lifetime I was waiting for. This is a lifetime I came back. This is a lifetime where the environment, the ripeness of consciousness, everything is so ready. What do you say to yourself about your path? About what are you being prepared to remember more and more and more? Because the mysteries are here to help you realize your divine assignment, your divine destiny. So you do not leave this lifetime incomplete. So you do not meet death unprepared. Let's talk a little bit about death because this is a major subject of education and mystery school. Mystery school tradition would say there is no death. There is a change of form, change of density. So in the mystery path, we develop not only open conversation around death, so it's not a taboo, it's not a scary subject that we all avoid, pretend it will never happen to us. We develop almost a fascination with the phenomena. We want to understand not only what happens after death, but where are we going? What are the levels of dimensions? What happens between lifetimes? What can we do this lifetime to make sure that our dimensional travels are smooth and we don't get stuck in the limbo between astral planes? So, in the mystery school tradition, we are fascinated by this topic. It's not a taboo, it's a topic of fascination. Because the more prepared you are for that change that will happen to every single one of us, the more braver you live. So in the ancient times, people would seek mystery schools, and they were like huge, beautiful temples because they wanted to be prepared for that great encounter that every single one of us will have. You know, a friend of mine, a friend of 13 years, who was a mystic, who introduced me to a lot of ancient Egyptian mysteries. He just transitioned into a different space. And to watch him meet death was very inspiring because at first he was fighting the reality. He was like, no, and we're gonna win this cancer. We're gonna battle this, and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna conquer this. And then the soul kept telling him, no, we're actually complete. We're actually complete. It's time to go to a different experience. And watch him accept that and move into a transition as an awakened soul was beyond inspiring. So, a mystery school tradition is the training of how to have that encounter in a noble way, in a prepared way, in a transparent way. Powerful, right? So, yes, I can teach you how to turn your home into a magnet of good fortune, how to take astral travels, how to talk to spirits and ghosts. Can teach you all of that, or you can read it in books. But you know what I found? Not many people choose to read books of this level. Or Isis Unveiled, the Magnus, Ancient Egypt, Egyptians' Book of the Dead, right? These are massive body of works that can feel like a huge feat to tackle. So, this is why we gather together and we learn and study and share these perspectives and our life experience. So, this mystical knowledge begins to guide us to live well, to die well, and to make a difference with our vibration, with our love. Always what we were able to create in this one lifetime. You know, it always moves me, this realization that you are never going to be you again. You will be another version of you different set of parents, different country, maybe, different hair, different body. You'll never be you. And some people say, oh God, thank God, I'll never be you. Whew, that was a rough one. Right? But the path of falling in love with the you that you are you, falling this radical, authentic love with the you that you are you. If we can't get there, if we can't start there, we can't get anywhere. The path of the mysteries, my darlings, is the path of the heart. So, I remember when I was in the depths of depression, feeling there is no meaning of life, there is no meaning of my life. And I was sinking, I was deeply sinking. And I had so much gratitude for my life. I had so much gratitude for everything that I was able to find and discover. But I wasn't connected to my purpose. And that was crushing my soul. And I remember I was guided to this Zen teacher. I'm a lover of Zen Buddhism. And the Zen teacher, their teachings are very simple. They will say something like, watch your breath, just sit and watch your breath. The instruction is very simple. So the Zen teacher was given a teaching about the heart, and they said, in order to awaken the wisdom of the heart, you get to learn to love your life. You don't have to like everything about your life. You simply get to learn to love it. He made a really big difference that shifted so much for me. He made a big difference between liking your life and loving your life. If you are a parent, if you have a child, you know what love means to you. The love that you have for your child, it's unshakable. You can even call it unconditional, right? So imagine transferring that love if you have a pet. I'm a pet mom. The love that I have for my pet is unconditional. Even when she becomes a rascal, I still love her. It's unshakable love. So imagine taking that love that you have for another being and turning it towards your life and this incarnation and the version of you that you are in the age and the body and the circumstances and the gifts and the challenges and the wrinkles and your complex nature and your character. And you turn it all and you say, I choose to love it all. I don't have to like all of it. I choose to love it. I choose to open my heart to it. Now we are receptive to the mysteries. You see, it's all about preparing that inner environment. Now we can feel it. We can feel it. So in a few minutes, we're going to go on a journey together. I did not tell you how long this class will be. I did not want to time it because I have no idea. But those of you who stay, let's go on a journey together because I wanted to give you an experience, right? Experience was the promise. Transmission is an experience of its own. This is why I wanted to give you a week to integrate and to watch the session again, maybe a few times if you want. Astral travel is a key practice of mystery teachings. Every time you astral travel in a safe condition, just how you wouldn't drive the car without the seatbelt, you're not going to drive an astral car without the seatbelt, right? Preparation, psychic preparation is important. Darlings, every time we take an astral travel, why do you think it feels so good? Why do you think it feels so good when somebody takes you through visualization, through guided meditation? Somebody takes you through a ritual, whether it's inner child, meet your shamanic animal, ground. you always feel better. If you open your heart to it, if you're actually present to experience, you will feel a shift. Why do you think that is? It's because you are giving your soul nutrition. You are feeding your spiritual body. Your spiritual body needs nourishment. Imagine if you gave your physical body stones. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you have a stone. You don't have bread. You don't have amazing ciabatta chicken pesto sandwich. You have a stone. How long would you make it? Not very long. Imagine like that with your spiritual body. Your spiritual body needs nourishment, and it's nourishment in the form of energy, elevated emotion, and connection to your cosmic self. So every time you take these experiences, they're not just imaginations, even though it is a very powerful vehicle to get there. They are nourishment. They are nourishment. And when your soul body is nourished, you move through the world as a soul, as an awakened being, or a being being prepared for awakening. Right? So next time you tell your awakening story, you'll be like, well, I thought it was my spiritual awakening. What I'm realizing now, I was prepared to access a new way of life. I'm being prepared, right? So this is why, my darlings, okay, we're gonna move this. This is really powerful, right? So powerful. This is why when we have these, when you're drawn to ritual, maybe you are a ritualist yourself. That's why it's so fulfilling to serve in that way, because what you give to others is soul nourishment. I was reading Rudolf Steiner's books last night. They are very deep and profound. And I've read a paragraph about responsibility for spiritual knowledge. And the paragraph said if we accumulate spiritual knowledge just for our own development, we are missing the mark. We actually accumulate spiritual karma, because every single spiritual knowledge that we have, that we embody, but we don't share with the world, is a missed opportunity to uplift and inspire the energetic grid of the universe. So do know there's a responsibility for sitting on your spiritual knowledge and not sharing it, keeping it behind your back. Share it. Don't wait for the perfection. Don't wait to feel ready. Share it from your heart. Share it for the joy of the upliftment. Share it for the joy of when you serve one, you serve all. So, astral traveling and shape shifting, powerful process. We do a lot of this in mystery studies, and we develop relationships with the beings of the higher worlds. Again, they don't exist above us, they exist everywhere around us. In ancient mystery path, we would apprentice directly with the ancient gods, such as the gods of ancient Egypt, the beings from Atlantis and Lemuria. The ancient Egypt has left us some incredible, incredible architecture. Atlantis has been lost. Lemuria has been lost. We don't have any physical memories that we have discovered yet. Hopefully, we'll discover them. But if we go to Egypt and we stand in front of the gigantic temple dedicated to the ancient gods, we begin to wonder, what was that civilization like? What was the mysteries? Who they received their training from? Ancient Egypt enchants us. It ignites the mysterious. It draws us in because it was one of those civilizations that was able to activate this dual mastery, this inner mastery, inner development, as well as thriving civilization. You see, when we look at a country such as India, the mother India used to be a great empire and a great lineage that comes that Atlantis, the people who survived from Atlantis, went to India to bring their teachings. But look at the country that only valued inner development, that did not develop themselves technologically, societally. You see the result. Then we have an example of our culture of the West, let's say United States or Europe or Australia, where we're so hungry for that material development, for the development of technology to become progressive societies. We overlooked inner development, and we're finding our balance back. So imagine there were civilization where both developments happened harmoniously at the same time. And it's humanly possible. And the way it was possible because they were taught by the beings from the higher worlds. In theosophy, the teachings of divine wisdom, they called solar priestes. They were called beings of fire, the spirits of the flame, the spirits of the flame. So imagine these beings from higher dimensions who were the original teachers of humanity. Over time, they stepped away because humanity's vibration was so getting out of alignment with their vibration that they had to take us, had to give us space. They made a choice to give us space to make the mess that we needed to make, to learn that all this mess is not really needed. The war is not really needed. The weapons are not really needed, right? But we had to, collectively speaking, humanity speaking, we had to devolve to see the impact of that devolution, to start a new cycle, to return to the wisdom. So it all served its plan. But while we were devolving, collectively speaking, these ancient guides stood back, almost like a parent would, looking at a child who leaves at the age of 15 and says, I will never speak to you again. You're not my mother. You're not my father. I'm so sorry for any parents who are going through this. This must be a lot. But you know, if that's a great metaphor. For us as human species, we did exactly the same thing. We forgot our cosmic ancestors, collectively speaking. We began to worship different gods, such as intellect or religion or dogma, right? Or superstition or whatever. So when we come back to that memory that there was this time, ancient golden age, it's interesting how it's called golden age of ancient Egypt, golden age of Atlantis, golden age of humanity that we're all dreaming together. So imagine there was a time where we were directly instructed by the beings from the higher worlds that each represent a unique thread or wisdom stream, the ray of light. So when we would be taught by Auset, the goddess of alchemy, who is also the goddess of intuition, not often being taught. The goddess Isis or Auset, she's the goddess of alchemy, love, healing, as well as intuition. So we would apprentice with her at her temples, with her priests and priestesses, to embody her wisdom, to one day become her as a living vessel. And that's how we would work with every single deity, with every single living god. To me, ancient gods are vortices of energy. They're not just huge humans, they're portals of energy that you work with. So when you begin to work with God Thoth, who is the scribe of the gods, you're tapping into a lineage, right? That you begin to transform your relationship with your own channeling, with your own ability to receive information from Akashic records, from the cosmic mind. You begin to write your own books. Like, what is happening? Oh, I've been working with Thoth. So these, how I experience these ancient gods as cosmic teachers. They are not large superhuman beings. I mean, that's how I used to think of them. When I first discovered them, I was like, okay, so Sekhmet is this giant lion woman. And then the more I would get to know these beings, I was like, okay, when I invoke Sekhmet, the goddess of healing and transformation, I am actually tapping into this vortex, like a stream of energy and cosmic power that has unique qualities to heal and to empower me by making me aware of my own bullshit, because that's what Sekhmet is. She's not going to let you play small. So if you don't want to see where you're playing small, don't work with Sekhmet. But if you like that kind of truth telling, Sekhmet is your teacher, right? So this is how the ancient Egypt became a powerful civilization, by apprenticing with these ancient beings. We live in extraordinary times where any sincere spiritual seeker can become a seer. Any sincere spiritual seeker can become an ambassador of ancient gods by embodying their qualities and their wisdom, by being a channel for them. We get to remember the requirements, right? In the beginning, we covered them. There were 3 requirements. A little pop quiz. Who remembers what they were? Who remembers what they were? While I'm taking a pause with my cacao. Mm. You're still with me, my darlings. 2 hours went by like timeless time, right? And thank you so much for all your comments. I'm excited to look through them with presence. Hmm. Hmm. Devotion, inner tranquility, balance. You got it. You got it. Balance between your inner development and your physical life. Yes, yes, yes. All right, darlings. Okay, so these are the qualities, right? Devotion, humility, tranquility, balance. That's so if your ancient teachers say, I want you to take a corporate job. Just imagine if I get this message from Thoth. Katerina, great job being an entrepreneur for the last 10 years. I want you to take a corporate job and be in advertising department where you can't talk about mysticism. You can only be mysticism. Ah, twist of the plot. Did not expect that. But imagine, as an initiate, you don't argue, you don't negotiate, you receive instructions from your guides and you verify that instruction by the truth teller that is your body. And you say, wow, my higher self just revealed the next piece of the puzzle for me. Wow. And I get to go and be my mystical self. How amazing would that be? The twist of the plot. A mystic is ready for the twist of the plot with humility, devotion, and inner balance. So, my dear ones, let's experience together. I'd like to share with you. Uh, you're welcome. My beloved is here. Hi. Hi, Rob, my mystical companion. So, darlings, yeah. And, Rob knows my my dialogues, my visionary dialogues about this mystical path. I'd like to share with you a process of safe astral travel. It's so easy. Astral traveling is very important for us to practice. Why, darlings? Because when we develop our astral body and we become aware of it, we cleanse it, we purify it. Basically, astral body is a magnet inside of you. So Eckhart Tolle, the spiritual teacher that is really well known in the world, he brought this beautiful understanding of the pain body, right? So when we have a lot of trauma and process pain, why do we keep attracting the same to us? Is because our astral body is a magnet. So imagine you're developing your astral body through these many astral travels. You basically activate your energetic antenna. You activate your energetic vehicle. And the more you do it, not only you begin to attract communication with these ancient gods and beings, you also begin to manifest through intention, through desire alone. But not only that, that's not it. The most important thing is the quality of your astral development will literally determine how you're going to navigate what happens to you after death. And it's really important for me to bring it to you, right? Because if we don't know this, if our astral body is not prepared, we can get stuck between dimensions. We can get lost in the bardo state, right? There's many things that we can get confused after death. So very important to develop our astral body, and every astral travel that you practice or you take helps that. Okay, looks like people saying they're full. Maybe we save it for next time. Do you want to save it for next time? It's already been 2 hours. I just planted plenty of seeds with you. I lose track of time. I mean, it's not that I lose track of time. I say it's absolutely timeless. It's amazing. Maybe I have, let's do it. Sandra says, let's do it. Okay, still have some energy. Let's do it, darlings. For those of you who want, if you feel full and you're ready to go, please don't feel obligated to stay. I love astral traveling. Okay, so I'll share with you a simple way that I astral travel that is safe and protected. You want to be safe and protected. I used to be spiritually naive, thinking that I don't need to protect myself. And this is just not the truth. You got to be safe and protected. So prepare your galactic suit. And we're going to do, we're going to astral travel to ancient Egypt. We're going to travel to a very special place in ancient Egypt that holds the key to all secret knowledge. And I'm going to cover that on the month 3 of the Mystery School, where we travel to the halls of Amenti, to a mystical place underneath the Sphinx that holds a portal that takes us to any dimension that we want to access, any soul memory, any circuit of memory. So we're going to practice our astral traveling techniques. I invite you, if you decide to stay for the whole ritual, please, as a respect to the mysteries. And if you decide to go, just go and have a beautiful integration. It was fun to be with you. So those of you decide to stay, make sure that I'm going to turn off my video. Make sure that you sit with your feet on the ground. And there is tiny little energetic windows that open in your feet. And through these energetic windows, energy begins to stream down into the earth. And it's any energy that your body, your energetic body, is ready to release. It could be the energy of the day or the energy of what you think you need to do after this, the energy of the month, the energy of new Pisces season, the energy, what's on your mind. Just allow it to begin to drain. So you have space, you have calm, you have presence. And we're going to give the intention to your being to create a clear grounding in whatever way that you work with it. Ground yourself into this moment. I love visualizing my legs becoming the roots of the ancient tree. I love connecting to the world tree, the tree of the earth. I love remembering myself as a leaf, tiny leaf on that tree. I'm a part of the soul of the world. You are part of the soul of the world. So feel that connection. And now, with your visualization, create a circle around you. This is a circle of power and protection. And dedicate that this is a place where you are safe to practice magic, where you're safe to astral travel, where your soul body can get nourished. Now that you created protection, your next step is to take a different form because you need an astral form to travel astrally. For that, we're going to use the ancient practice of shape-shifting. And we're going to use an example, a symbol of devotion, because we come to these higher astral planes with devotion, with humility. So I invite you to visualize the white dove in front of you. See its beautiful form, its beating wings. Can you hear its heartbeat? Now bring this image of white dove closer to your energetic heart. Closer. Now bring it into your heart. Shift into experiencing yourself as a white dove. You taking this new form. Now you have wings. You don't have hands. You have many feathers. All of them are beautiful white. You're a magnificent bird. Oh, wait, there is something in your beak. What is it? You are holding an olive branch. Okay, see it. Create it in your imagination. This is an offering to the temple that you're going to fly into. So, feeling is the way we move through the astral dimension. If you can't feel it, you don't activate your astral vehicle. Truly stepping into experience. You are the white dove, beautiful bird. You have a beak. This is your astral form for this flight. Your intention is to travel to ancient Egypt, etheric temple, the golden age, to bring your offering. So take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath 2. And on the breath 3, you push from the ground into your new form, beginning to rise above the place that you're in. You're seeing the roof. You're going higher and higher and higher. You are above your street. Now you're above your town. You go higher and higher, projecting your consciousness to the next spot until you are flying in the stars. Enjoy this Akashic ocean of space where you're so free to move, to travel, to fly between dimensions. You can go anywhere you wish, past, present, future, anywhere you wish. You have a destination. You are traveling to ancient Egypt of golden times. You are traveling to a very specific location. You're moving above and you see the pyramids. This is your orientation point to slow down and to start your descent. And next to the pyramids, you see this majestic lion, the Sphinx, the oracle, the earth altar. You want to experience the most powerful place to make your offering to the gods is the Sphinx. This is the earth altar. So your devotion guides you in this beautiful, smooth descent. You are finding yourself softly landing, and the moment you land, you take your human form. You're still an energy traveler, but now you are in your human form, and the olive branch is in your hands. You're approaching the Sphinx. You're in awe of its beauty, of its power as the keeper of all knowledge, Akashic records in one place. Here they are, the keeper of the mysteries. You are standing between the paws of the Sphinx and you begin to bow to your own immortal nature, to the masters who came before you, to the lineage, this great lineage of the wisdom. So watch yourself bowing in gratitude. You bow to yourself. You bow to the path. You bow to what you don't know. You bow to everything that you've transformed. It's good. It's a good medicine for the heart and the soul to bow in gratitude, in humility. And every time you bow, you empty what you think you know. You become more empty and ready to be filled. Spend a few moments to look at the Sphinx and to make a heart connection. And the Sphinx may send you a telepathic image or a wave of welcoming energy. Or you may experience profound stillness. Be open to what you experience. Don't rush to understand. Feel it. Know that the Sphinx is highly aware of your visit. In a few moments, we're going to take our journey back. You have placed your olive branch as a peace offering in front of the Sphinx. Take another look at this powerful place. When I count to 3, you're going to take your astral form again. You become a bird. Take a deep breath 1. Take a deep breath 2. And a deep breath 3. See how easier it is this time? Feeling your wings lifting up to the sky, rising above the pyramids. The laws of space and time are very different in astral planes of reality. So keep rising, keep rising. Here you are, back in the space amongst the stars. Wouldn't it be so lovely for us to hang out here? You and I and the stars. Yeah, let's do that. Let's find the time to do that. But keep traveling. Keep traveling back, back, back until you recognize you're above the earth. Zoom in. Intention guides you exactly where you need to go. You're returning back to your physical location, your country, your home. You're above the roof. Now you're above your physical self. Now you're above your crown chakra. Take another deep breath. Visualize yourself entering through your crown chakra. Yep, energetically feel your body all the way to the toes. Don't skip this process. This is very important. Now feel your body with your presence, with your essence. You can move your toes, you can move your fingers. Here you are, fully in. Yes. All right. Give yourself Sense of acknowledgement that you just came back from astral traveling. Notice any difference in how you feel. In a few moments, you're going to open your eyes whenever you feel ready. All the upgrades that took place will naturally integrate and absorb. Feel the gratitude on your heart. Now, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Mm. Who's ready for some food? Me. So, dear friends, am I still recording? Yeah. Welcome back. How is your ancient Egyptian astral traveling? Mm. Mhm. 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 Light, ecstatic was happening. Felt a lot of heat and yawned. Yeah. The Sphinx. Mhm. A really powerful connection with the Sphinx. Soul tears. Carrie feels home. Yes, this is how you know this path is not the first lifetime for you. You're returning home. Sphinx was huge. Yes. So if we think about, my dear ones, everything physical has its astral form. Can you imagine the astral form of Sphinx or the astral form of pyramids? It's massive. So, this is an example of how we nourish our spiritual body and how we travel and apprentice with these beings in a safe and protected way, in a grounded way, in a way that we create this inner development as well as responding to our earthly tasks, right? You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So, yeah, of course you can practice on your own. Of course, Rosalind. Yeah, you can practice on your own. You can read books on your own. You can do your own journey. Yeah, that's exactly what I did for many, many years. And for those of you who would love some guidance and camaraderie for the path, uh, you're welcomed to reach out to me and to apply for Satori Mystery School. It is application only. I want to make sure it's appropriate and the right fit for the people who are drawn to it. It's a 6 months journey. To be frank with you, the real training takes minimum 3 years, 5 years. But if I open the program that is a 5 years long, maybe 0.0.0.1% of people who will say, I'm going to sign up for 5 years. So I decided to open a 6 months as a beautiful training. You meet 6 different cosmic guides. Each month opens up a new level of training. So the first month we gave you this kind of experience of what we had today, where you have the background of the lineage and prerequisites for the initiates, as well as what are we focused on developing: energy, thought, manifestation, character, soul qualities, right? And then each month builds on its own. So there is going to be a month of training in alchemy, training in channeling, training in becoming a weaver of mysteries for others, for your home, for your environment. And of course, how it all connects to your life and to your business and to your leadership. Because if these teachings cannot be applied directly to your life, what's the point? I find that when our soul is nourished and when we are connected to our true spiritual vision, I would say that's the main empowerment, when you connect to your true spiritual vision. And instead of it being fuzzy or feeling like it's so far away there, it becomes as a living, breathing beacon of your life that you wake up every morning excited to embody it, express it, actualize it, fulfill it, create it, experience it. So, on this note, dear friends, if anybody has questions, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you want more information about Mystery School, it starts on March 26th, right after spring equinox. And we go for 6 months. The investment for the journey is 5K as a basic level. I could easily charge 25 for it. The true value of profound inner development, as well as profound visionary empowerment. But I decided to open it at this level. And if you are interested, please reach out. There is also a VIP level available that includes some one on one time with me and some special mystical initiations. Some people are interested in that. And you can reach out and learn more, as well as if you'd like to see a full curriculum, it's available. Next session will be next Wednesday. When I receive what it's going to be about, I will write to you, will let you know. So far, it's pure channeling. So I don't know until I open the Zoom. Okay, this is what's coming through. So, but I do encourage you to watch this transmission one more time. Maybe when you go on the walk and you just listen, you don't need to watch the video, you just can listen. This could be really beautiful and supportive. You will hear it in a new way, and it will activate new memories for you. And until then, you are very welcome. You're very welcome, darlings. If I have a big virtual store of different online masterclasses and programs and a variety of topics. If you love to study on your own, it's available for you. And yes, it's so fun, right? It's so fun. You know, to me, mysteries, teaching mysteries is one of the deepest joy of my life. And I tried to run away from it many times. Many times. I tried to push away this assignment and saying somebody can do it better. It's been done before. Just go watch YouTube videos. I had all this conversation with my guides. It was like a battle with my guides. No, no. Oh, yes, 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 no, yes, no. Eventually surrender. I am going in. I'm so grateful to I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share these teachings with you. If my life ended tomorrow, I would die fulfilled. And that's what I want for everyone on the planet, that every day you are ready to leave the planet if that's your time. and you can leave fulfilled. And there is nothing incomplete. There is no dream that you did not go after. There is no realization that you didn't go after. You made your mark. You made your mark. And you live fulfilled, living fully every day. Thank you so much. I'm going to go to my altar. Um, Next time we're going to talk about the portal of your home. We didn't get to it today. Today was so rich was what came through, right? I will talk to you about making your home the magnet of good fortune. The secret is your altar. The altar. I want to finish on 222. Thank you so much with so much love and gratitude and grace. What if we are the generation? We're standing on the shoulders of those spiritual luminaries who were secret mystics who practice ancient magic. But we have an opportunity to do things a little bit different. We have an opportunity to have balance. We have an opportunity to not only develop our inner psychic mystical self, but bring it into our work, into our career, into our business, into our families. We have an opportunity to activate both. I live for that. This is the world that I live to see. Thank you. I love you. I see you soon.